Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Home Staging Talk Show Live. I'm Jenny Norris, your host, and as I get started, I want to make sure you guys can hear me so I don't have a repeat of last week. So those of you that are tuning in, there's a bit of I think there's like a 10-second delay. If you could let me know that you can hear me okay before I really get started, that would be awesome. So please let me know. Just type a comment on the comments section. That would be fabulous. So Home Staging Talk Show Live is brought to you by the International Association of Home Staging Professionals. This is our 65th episode, which is pretty exciting. And the whole goal of Home Staging Talk Show Live is to have a conversation with and about the home staging industry professionals. Oh, good. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. So we want to be able to have really great interviews and just talk to people who are in the industry or support the industry or support business growth and so forth. And you can join in on the conversation by commenting live. And we can use your feedback. If you want to ask the guests anything, you can always type on the comment section. And all of these sessions have been uploaded onto our YouTube channel for iHosp YouTube channel, and also on homestagingtalk.com, homestagingtalk.com. So you can always find all the past episodes there. So good morning, everybody. So Sandra, you were in the studio and now you're gone. So you got to get back in here. I lost you. So anyhow, so today our guests are going to be Sandra Holmes, Jenny Abrams, and hopefully Mike Brechtel from Coaster. And we have a good show. But of course, before we get to that, I wanted to make a couple of announcements. Of course, our conference, we're getting close. We're getting really excited. So our ihospconexpo.com is the website. If you've been thinking about coming and you're really not sure, take the plunge, make the decision to come. You definitely won't regret it. There's so much information, but beyond that, beyond the excellent speakers that we have and the learning you're going to experience, it's also about the people you're going to meet and be able to chat with and just kind of get enmeshed in an event that's fully there to support you and your business growth. And I think a couple people were posting like, should I go to a conference? Why would I go? I've never missed one. My very first one was 2003. That was the first conference ever for the industry. And I attended. I was pretty new and met some really great people. And I've never missed. And they've been all over the place as far as geography. One of the best things I love about it is not only being able to take some time away from my crazy client life and so forth and focus on me and my business, but it also being able to see all of my colleagues and friends that I've met over the years. So some of my best friends are in the industry, and we might only see each other physically, one time a year, but we do get to connect on social media and stay in touch with each other, which is really great. So, busy is not a reason not to come. That's an excuse, quite honestly, being busy. We're all busy, and I don't even like that word. The word we like to use is productive, because we're productive in our businesses. When you say I'm too busy, that sounds like, you're someone else is controlling your schedule. And what Barb Shores used to say is like it's a gerbil on a gerbil wheel, like you're just running really fast and not really accomplishing anything. So the word is productive because the root word is produce. We're producing results. We're getting success. And so listen, we all have things going on in our lives. And I've always said, if you can't tell a client or your client base that I'm going to be leaving for 4 or 5 days to learn information and gain more resources that's going to help me serve you even better as my client, 5 days out of 365, then your business you're not in control of your business. Your clients are in control of you and your schedule. And we can never be in fear of leaving and even taking a vacation or what have you. We can't let our businesses control us that way. We're so afraid to take time off. And this is actually a good thing to be doing, because you're learning things that are going to advance your business and have an opportunity to get around other like-minded business owners. So take the plunge, get your ticket before we sell out, and make sure to register through the iHospCon Expo portal. There are still some hotel rooms left, I believe, on my block. That I set some aside to keep that rate low, but they're going fast. So don't wait on that. Of course, it's at the fabulous Gaylord Hotel, which that's just a beautiful, beautiful property. And lots going on there. It's the 94th anniversary of the Grand Ole Opry. So that's going to be fun. So here is our speaker and topics. We have 39 speakers, 25 topics. We have a new designation, investor staging consultant designation, that'll be taught on Saturday morning. So as long as you're there Saturday morning, you will receive that. And that's going to be taught by a panel that is involved in that market niche. I know a lot of us are. And so talking about pricing and marketing, the mindset of the investor, how to get that business, talk about Airbnb as a segment of that market and how to capture that business, and really getting into the mindset also of what it takes to be an investor and how as a stager we can support that process, because there's actually two key places that we need to be involved, and most of us are only really getting involved in one of those. So that will be on Saturday morning. Of course, we have our fabulous expo, which will be Thursday evening, Thursday afternoon, late afternoon. So we're going to kick off the conference, we hope, around 5:30-ish. We're going to have the expo with over 40 companies coming to meet you, from furniture, decor, artwork, rugs, services, even clothing. Stage the Stager, I had one of our guests on last week. So everything you can think of for your business, people are going to be there. And of course, through our wholesale buying program from IHOSP, and we don't charge you anything extra to be a part of that. And we work really hard to bring vendors that have the products and services that you need for your business at different price ranges. So they're going to be there kicking off Thursday. We're going to have food, of course, to keep you there, cash bars, and a music. So it's going to be a kind of a fun opening for the conference. And then Friday and Saturday all day is education, breakout sessions. Candace Olson will be our keynote on Friday. Friday afternoon. Just lost my little graphic here. And so she's really excited to be with us. She'll be there Friday afternoon, meet and greet. And then she's also, I believe, coming on the General Jackson Showboat, which is our awards dinner, Friday evening. So that'll be fun. And then Saturday afternoon, we have Carson Kressley and Tom Felicia, who are our guest celebrity keynotes. So they'll be speaking. On Friday evening, Barb Schwartz will be doing the keynote inspirational talk, the power, it's all about the power of you. And so that's going to be wonderful on the actual boat. And so we just got lots planned. This is our packed agenda. On Saturday, of course, is the investor staging consultant designation, which I already mentioned. So those of you that are in attendance, so it's not just that you bought a ticket, you have to be there. And we do track that. So you'll get the new designation, because our conferences are always a getaway with a takeaway, which is really great. All right. And then the conference wraps up on Saturday. Following that, starting Sunday morning at 9:30, we're going to have our advanced stager training sessions starting. Advanced stager training. These are for people who are at 6 figures or above in their business. And so we want to be able to support and have focused workshop style education for you. So if you are there or just about there, get registered, because space is limited. And this is really great because it's a collaboration between 6 industry educators and leaders. Last year we had 4. It was the first time that we had anybody had really brought collaboration together within an event with what we would consider maybe outside entities. And so this year we have 6 of us. And so you have Marianne Cherico, she's the home staging business coach. Joanne Leonard-Weary with the JLW company. And I'm going to plug Joanne. She has a color course that is October. I'm sorry, Joanne, if you're listening, I need the dates. Hi, Mike. Mike, you got to come into the studio. So I sent you a link for you to be able to click on, and then it will bring you into the segment. So Joanne's color class is before the conference. It's 2 days before the conference at the same location. She's fabulous. And so if you're interested in that, reach out to Joanne Leonard-Weary. Catherine Lewis Brown, of course, is the successful stager. Melissa Morrow, Rave, myself in the middle, and then Jana Usselton with HSRA. We also have 3 other speakers that'll be joining, talking about business and productivity. Renee Helton, Brandy Sales, and Jonathan Miller will be talking about marketing. Jonathan specifically about branding, and Brandy specifically about tech and branding and apps and things that we need to know how to use, video and so forth, that a lot of people are sort of afraid to get on camera, and how to use those for our business to build our brand. So looking forward to that. So that is October 6th and 7th, which is Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday. I'm losing my mind, guys. Sunday and Monday from 9:30. Hi, Mike. 9:30 to 5:30-ish. The first night we will have dinner together, and then on the second evening it'll wrap up, and then you're free to go. So a lot of really great industry leaders and so forth in there that have big businesses, and there's something to be said about getting into a room and being able to discuss challenges, similar things. So it's not a lecture. There will be people presenting, but there'll be lots of times for breakout sessions between size of companies, 6-figure versus 7-figure, and then also just smaller breakout sessions by the workshop facilitators. So that is happening. So make sure to get your ticket because space is limited for that. All right. Oh, this is important. Right now, the Staging Industry Awards is happening, and I believe the deadline is tomorrow. So get your votes in. Yeah, you can go to our Facebook pages and the social media, and you'll see a link to be able to click on, and that takes you to a portal where you can cast your votes. And we have many different categories. I think we have 12 different categories that we're voting on. So first one, top vacant staging. There are luxury and regular and small square footage, those 3 categories. And then we also have top luxury for occupied, which is for luxury occupied and regular occupied vacant. So, and then we have also a top team, large and regular size. So regular size is 5 or fewer, creative stagers on the team. Large is 6 or more. Top individual stager, rising star, recognizes the person who's newer in the industry that's doing a great job. Top IHOSP chapter, the IHOSP Spirit Award, and then the Barb Schwartz Staging Excellence Award. So those are being voted on right now. Cutoff is tomorrow. There will be no extension granted for that. So make sure that you get your votes in because we have to then sift through everything and place our orders for the trophies and so forth. So it's very exciting. So get that done. The other thing we have going on is, let's see, I'm going to put this in here. We do have a class in London coming up. So October 21st and 22nd. This is being sponsored by IHOSP Europe and hosted by HSA UK. So Verena Mumford and Sonia Radovinovich are going to be teaching this. It's a 2-day stager course in London. So if you want more information, just reach out to us. But that's very exciting. That's our second London course. And what else do I have here? I think that is all of my announcements. Here's Coaster's going to be our guest. So that's Mike. I just saw you come on. So I'm very excited to have you on the show. All right. So with that, I'm going to bring Mike. I'm going to bring you on first. Oh, also, just one more thing. For those who are coming to conference, there's an app called Whova, WHOVA. You need to download that, Whova. And Whova is the app we're using to manage our conference. And so I've already sent out emails to those of you that were VIPs. You have to get your breakout sessions. You sign up through those through Whova. And you have until, I believe, Friday. And then I'm going to open it up to everybody else. So if you haven't bothered to download that, you haven't gone into the app, you haven't gotten your breakout sessions, know that you have basically 2 more days to make that happen. And there's a lot of you that have not responded and not downloaded that app. So we'll get a reminder out, but I just want to put that out here on this show that if you are a VIP, which would be one of the first people that registered for conference, then you have the opportunity to select your breakout sessions because there's 15 of them and you only get to go to 3. So 3 out of 15, they will all be recorded. So you'll all be able to see them after, but in order to get the one you want, and we will be monitoring this. We have barcode things on your badges. We'll know if you're in the right place or you're trying to sneak in. And so it's going to be very well organized. That's the plan anyway. And but you download that app, Whova, and then there's lots of engagement on the app right now between people who are already in there. And if you haven't, you've been wondering, like, when do I get to sign up for my breakout sessions, Jenny? I'm going to upload the rest of the attendees starting on, excuse me, on Saturday. You'll all have access to every session and so forth and be able to select your breakouts. So that's Whova, WHOVA. Those of you that have got an email that was not spam, that was legit. So get your breakout sessions scheduled before they fill up. All right, now I'm done. Okay, Mike, I'm bringing you on. Hello.
Hey, Jenny, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I am good.
Good. Well, for people who don't know who you are, introduce yourself. All about you.
Okay, I am Mike Brechtel. I am Vice President of the Central Region for Coaster. We have facilities in 9 places throughout the country and are very, very big in our partnership with your organization. We showed there in Charlotte last year, our initial show, and we're looking forward to a great show in a few weeks in Nashville. We we have a nice partnership in terms of the visits at our shows in Las Vegas and in High Point, and we look forward to seeing many of you right after your show at High Point Furniture Market. We
You have a,
have 60,000 square feet of product to show, and we are slowly but surely catering to your organization and meeting the needs of the home stages.
yes, we love your product. We love all the furniture and accessories and everything. And let's talk a little bit about the program we have with you, because I think through our wholesale buying program, and I just kind of want to give a pitch for that. You know, it's one of the benefits of IHOS membership that we put this together for you. And Krista Jessup and Sandra Holmes have worked super hard to identify companies and then share the benefits of why they want to be part of our organization and this program. And there's power in numbers. So if somebody were to walk in off the street, you're a designer, what have you, you might be able to get, a bit of a discount from Coaster, these other companies, but you're going to have things like minimum order amounts and different fees and so forth that apply. So our program, we have no minimum orders. That's right.
Right.
So, which is awesome, because a lot of these companies have, 1,500, 2,500 minimum opening orders. And let's talk about the shipping where you're located. So people, that's one of the concerns of how quickly can we get the product?
We can usually turn around product from our facility within 48 hours when it orders through. Just so everyone is clear, our facilities, we have 3 locations in California near San Francisco. We have 2 in Los Angeles area. We have Miami, Chicago, Dallas, New York, and
which is great. And so depending on where you are geography wise, they'll tell you which delivery place is going to ship your product. So for example, in Denver, I can actually get either from Texas or Southern California.
Exactly. And also Atlanta area too, for the Southeast. We're usually within 2 or 3 states of all of the states. I mean, so we're not that far apart. We estimate the furthest time, usually about 3 to 4 days delivery from the furthest point of your initial destination. So say you're in Chicago and you're in, let's say, Iowa or something like that. I mean, that's usually the lead time.
So people who don't have warehouses and they're thinking like, well, how do I receive this product? What are the stipulations that they need to know about?
Many of the people have like storage facilities and everything like that. We cannot ship large parcel, meaning LTL trucks and things of that nature, to residents. Okay.
Right. So, yeah. Because they don't want a big truck rolling down the neighborhood.
Exactly. They don't want big trucks rolling neighborhoods. Many of your organization members have storage facilities or have small warehouses or small spaces, because you have to have a shipping dock for large parcels. This is aside from small parcel, UPS, FedEx, meaning we need a shipping dock to ship bedroom sets. Okay. But nightstands and things like that are usually small parcel items.
So stagers, the people who are watching are thinking like, well, I guess I can't buy from them because I don't have a big dock. Think again. Every city has receivers. So I don't have a big giant warehouse with a loading dock. So I'm not going to go, well, I don't qualify. I Googled, anybody can do this. And I'm actually working on a national relationship with somebody that's going to pull all of these locations per city by city. So Denver has a company that will receive a truck from Coaster, anybody else too from Coaster, and it can be offloaded. And then I could roll up with my truck, and a smaller thing. I can pick up the items. If it's a pallet or whatever, they'll break it apart. We can get things loaded onto a smaller vehicle and take it to a storage facility, wherever you store your stuff. And so don't use that as a reason not to order, because there's places that will receive any kind of shipment and that will then not make you have to feel like, okay, I guess I can't order from this company.
Right. You have shipping and receiving businesses who do this every day.
Right.
And also, each facility has their own truck. Now, the specifics of that, I use the Dallas Houston area, for example. If you're in Dallas, you can come to Coaster and pick up. If you're in the Chicago area, you can come to Coaster and pick up. Now, you have to reserve an appointment and do all the due diligence beforehand. You just can't show up independently and, hey, I ordered this, I want to pick it up. We have dock space and appointments that need to be met because all of our docks are busy. But that's not saying if you don't have all the necessary things to receive shipments and you're in the general area, you can come to Coaster at one of the facilities.
Right. I'm always jealous of, like, especially people in LA. A lot of these companies seem to be located in Southern Cal, so they just get to roll right up and pick up the product. So when when somebody wants to place an order, so you want to go through the IHOSP membership portal. So you log into your membership, and if you don't know how to do that, you got to let us know. Then you would select on the resources tab our vendor program, and then you would click on that, and there's a landing page that has all the different logos for our partners. You'd click on Coaster. It's going to ask you for your information, name, email, and phone number. And then you enter this portal. And the reason we want you to go through there is because we know then that you are part of our program, and Coaster knows you're part of our program, and you do have to set up an account. So what is the first step that somebody has to do? There's an application they have to fill out, and then they have to submit some paperwork to you, correct?
Right. If you're not an existing customer already, there is a criteria that needs to be met. Initial paperwork, your tax ID, and things like that we can prepare for when you want to order. We have that paperwork set and everything. It's all on file. www.coasterfurniture.com. Those initial setup sheets are on file. So then it will go for our customer service, and the setup process is within 48 hours, something like that. I mean, it's a quick process. So that needs to be met initially. For existing members, we're always working on special deals, special promotions and things. So what will happen is when we will have a promotion by the time we get to Nashville, we'll have a set stage of this is what we're doing, this is how long it's lasting, and usually, and I don't want to speak out of turn, but usually it would last through your show and probably through ours too.
That
Okay.
high point.
So it would be probably the month of October.
Cool.
We have plenty going on. Not this weekend, but next weekend. We have an open house at all of our branches. So if you're near one of our branches, we have an open house, and it's usually deep discounted merchandise at the facilities. You have to visit the facility to get part of this deal. And all of our locations will be open Sunday morning, all morning, and till probably about 1 o'clock. So if you're in the area, there will be contact. If you're an existing dealer, you may have seen a flyer or something of that nature come to you already. So our partnership with you guys is one, your individual businesses are just that, your individual businesses, but collectively you make up a very, very big organization, which we try and cater to. The premise of our business, we can ship large volume to top 100 furniture stores, and we can ship one every day, all day, to individual designers, merchants, and we embrace that. And I'll say it, many companies do not. Many want a high minimum and this, and we see the need. I mean, we see the need in terms of catering to your organization, so where collectively both our businesses grow.
So when somebody wants to, they'll fill out the paperwork and they want to place, they have to place an order first to be active, or is it, or can they just get in the system and then when they're ready? So I thought it was you had to place an order.
Well, what happens is, you know, a credit card needs to be left on file, things, all of that set up. And
Okay.
usually what happens, the first initial order will be done over a credit card, and so you have it on file. But many people, because what happens is you don't want to do the setup and then it lingers, and then you need to do a new tax ID because you need to submit every year. So let's say today is September 11th. If you don't order from Coaster by September 11th and next year or the calendar year, you have to submit a new tax ID.
So Charlotte, Virginia, I think Virginia Marshall's asking about location to Charlotte. High Point, I would think, would be closer than Atlanta. Right?
Well, High Point's only the showroom.
Oh, I see. She's asking distribution. Okay.
Distribution would be Atlanta, or I mean, New Jersey, maybe. So we're in New Jersey. We're right near Newark Airport.
Cool. That's very exciting. And then some people don't have those. You guys are listening. You may not have a tax ID. I know there's some states that don't require. I think Delaware, maybe Vegas, or Nevada. And so if they don't require a tax ID, your people know what the requirements are by state.
That may take a little extra paperwork on their behalf, but if it's not identified, we have to make sure we're covered too in that regard.
Right. And just so you know, on the wholesale buying program, when you log into iHosp at your portal, I put together this whole thing on by state, what the requirements are for you to be able to shop wholesale. There's a spreadsheet, and you click on your state and it takes you and tells you exactly what you need by your state. And all you got to do is log into iHosp. As long as you're an iHosp member, you can get that information. So, you know, if you don't know what you need to do, then go ahead and log in and get that information so you are set up properly. So, well, here I have a couple of pictures I wanted to throw on here. Is you and Sandra just lounging around, and that was Sandra, you're sideways now, so turn your camera. But this was in Las Vegas. So we went on tour with our group and saw some really fabulous furniture. So I love that picture. And then also I just have a couple of things. You guys have some really beautiful, they're cabinets. Some of us are looking for accent pieces. Their pieces are really beautiful. They have everything from, you know, little things to big things, beds, couches, chairs, accent tables, lamps, rugs, and so forth. But their accent cabinets, I think, are some of the prettiest out there. And their price points are really, really great for staging. And then I took this picture. I thought this was so pretty in the showroom with the waterfall lights coming down. And so they have things that are more contemporary, modern, or fun. And so their line is huge. And so you know, it does come, you have to assemble it for some of the pieces that do need assembly, which is, you know, all of our favorite aspect of having furniture. So yeah, so it's really, really nice. All right. Anything else you want to share, Mike?
We have one of the largest selections. We have nearly 4,000 items. Most of them are in all of our facilities. It's very friendly. If it's more of a glass item, a mirrored item, we take that into consideration in terms of our packaging. But one of the things we're excited about is, you know, we're always looking outside the box. We have designers specified in accents and mirrors, so smaller items. Their first wave of product was in Las Vegas, was very well received. We usually introduce our new introductions in Las Vegas and roll it over to High Point. So for those coming in High Point in October, you will see plenty of the new introductions from Las Vegas. I spoke with Steve yesterday. We're very excited about Nashville. The sample list is being developed and being shipped, and we will have a presence there. So
And we have a couple good things for you too. So the Hoover app, as an exhibitor, you can actually upload information, specials, or whatever right into that app. So we're going to send you the link. I'm testing it on our Staged Homes booth just to make sure it works. But you can actually upload specials and things in there. And then we also have another app that we're going to be revealing at our conference. We're going to be testing it this month in my business and a couple of other people's, but that's going to be, it's going to be revolutionary as far as how these shows go and how people engage with our vendors. So that's going to be really exciting as well. And so we're happy. Thank you so much for supporting our association and our event. And we're going to have a great time. Get your boots on and your hat. And I'm going to put, Sandra, I'm going to have you come in just to say hello. Cause I know you and Mike, you buy a lot from him. And then I'm going to have Jenny Abrams come on and then you and I'll meet her. Hey, Sandra.
Hi.
Hey,
Hey, Mike, how are you?
how are you?
I was excited to see that we were going to be on the same show today. I'm like, there's my body.
Yeah.
I want to say, I really love coasters a lot. I've been using coasters for, gosh, over 9 years now. And what's so great about it is that, they're right here in Miami. So I can send the trucks there to go pick up, when it's needed. And I have to say that if it wasn't for coasters, I wouldn't have been able to grow my business as rapidly as I did once I learned to start buying wholesale, right? And because of the price point and the look of everything that you carry is the number one thing for any stager to help them grow their business. So from bedrooms to floor lamps to desks to, the living room furniture and the accessories, everything is just really great. So I'm going to say hats off to Coasters and thank you again for partnering with IHOS.
Well, we appreciate it. We're honored to be partners. One of the big things that I've noticed in the short time I've been with Coaster is not every piece of furniture. So if you're a home stager, sometimes you're trying to fit a square circle, and we have the variety and the willingness to ship small orders to meet your organization's needs.
Right.
And with that, many of your business is growing because not only do you stage, but you sell the house as staged too.
Yes. And you know what? I would say that, Mike, I would say like 85% of our homes sell completely furnished. And so that's the mode that we're in a constant buying all the time. I've become a professional buyer for sure. But that's a good thing because it helps it helps the stagers businesses to grow. Because instead of buying retail, or even when people buy, I don't want to point any particular company, but say from Wayfair or they go to the stores, they end up paying more money than they would if they were to buy wholesale all day long. And with the partnerships that we have to be able to go in, with you and buy at that price is, incredible. But the thing is that it also, when we sell the furniture, it helps us to stay on top of the trends. That's why you all go to market every year because you have new things that come out, right? And so in order for the stagers, when they buy the inventory, they might have it for a while, but they also need to know they need to continuously buy new things
Right.
for what buyers are looking for in these houses.
Right.
Right? You don't want to put something that we've had from 30 years ago in a house.
Just
We lost Mike. So I'm gonna, which is great. So I'm gonna bring Jenny on, Sandra. I'll bring her on with you, and then I'm gonna exit you, and you and I'll wrap up the show.
Okay.
But Jenny has an appointment to go to, so we'll say bye to Sandra and bring Jenny on.
Hello.
Hey. So Teresa, I don't know the closest showroom to Jacksonville, Florida. Probably Atlanta, because High Point is just the showroom. So the distribution center probably would be Atlanta. And so they have those on their sites. You can go on there and take a look, and certainly any of the reps could help you figure that out as well. So just really excited for that partnership. So good morning, Jenny.
Hi, how are you?
You have a great name. Good.
Thank you for having
Welcome.
me. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm sorry, Mike. Mike, if you're still listening, you disappeared. Your screen went black. So I'm sorry that I exited you out. Something must happen with your connection because you're not even in the studio. So we'll see Mike. We'll see Mike in Nashville. Looking forward to that. So Jenny Abrams,
Yes.
let people know who are you and where are you from?
Sure. So I'm based in the Chicagoland area, Schaumburg, Illinois. I'm a professional organizer and home stager. And my company is Abrams Home Solutions. I've been in business for about 3 years. and I'm excited to be speaking at conference.
Yes, and tell people what your topic is.
My topic is the top 10 organizing tips to be successful in business. So it talks a lot about managing your paper piles, managing your time management, the truth about multitasking,
Yes.
which we all tend to do. So kind of goes into all of those things to help people really maximize their productivity during their daytime so they can grow their businesses through organization principles.
Which is really important. And I think people who are, I don't know, like left brain, right brain people, there's people who are naturally more organized than others. There's a place for everything and everything in its place. And then there's people that don't have systems in place. And so what I've learned through the years is, you do need to be organized. And I don't know if you're going to touch on this or not, but based on, like, first of all, it's a good thing you can't see my office because there's piles, but they're organized piles. Like I have like all my stuff that I'll file away for 2019. It's just like electric bills and stuff. I just put them they're in a tray. But I think I said that was June Carter was on. She does professional organizing too.
Yes, she does.
Yes. And so we were talking about how my husband, and at the time, years ago, he was in sales, IT sales. And so his, he just didn't have anything organized, papers everywhere. So in his office. So I remember going there, taking all the papers, getting a banker's buck, filing them all, labeling all the files, gave it back to him. I had to organize everything. And like 6 months later, I show up to his office and they're still sitting in the box on the floor, and they never made it into a file cabinet. And then his desk was again covered with papers. And so some people just have the thing where they have to see everything. And being able to file according to what makes sense to them, or organizing. But you're going to go beyond that. You're going to talk about structuring your day, organizing. Yes. Yeah.
So the presentation, there's 10 major tips. I kind of added on 2 little extra bonus ones. But it really does, our lives intertwine so much in our personal and professional lives, especially with a business such as ours, because it's generally a home-based business. So you can be working from home and trying to get some work stuff done, but then personal stuff is kind of interfering, and that intertwines throughout the whole day. So part of the presentation does focus on that, how to avoid those interruptions. Part of the presentation talks about what to do with all that paper. So yes, you have a pile of your electric bills, but does that really need to sit on your desk? There are zones that make sense in proximity to our work area. And maybe it doesn't need to live on your desk. Maybe it can be in another zone. So we're going to talk about the 5 zones of organizing. We're going to talk about using a timer to really focus in, and whether that be 25, 30 minutes, whatever it is, it doesn't have to be 5 hours, but it's focused time with no interruptions. So we're going to talk about that. And we are going to talk about, just basic time management principles as well, in terms of how to avoid interruptions, how to batch and time block. So we're going to talk about that. And the last part of the presentation does talk about maintenance. So like you were saying, you went back in a few months later to your husband, and there was a lot of backsliding. And so how can that be avoided? Now, nobody's perfect. We're all human. And so part of my presentation isn't like, let's all leave here and be perfect in every aspect of organization. It's a journey. It's not a destination, but there are some things we can put in place to try to minimize that backsliding.
Yeah. And I think it's important that not every system's going to work for every person. So
exactly.
I made files that I thought would make sense for me, but that didn't work for him. And so being able to find a way to organize your business and your time that works for you. Yes. I think time blocking is really important because, as an example, I'm working on the program for the conference, and my goal was to get started over the weekend. So I actually left the house. John and I went away to our family cabin, and I thought I'll have this time up there to do what I need to do. I never even got to the program because I had all this other stuff I was working on. And so I actually have started it. So that's a good thing. I started it last night, but it's having that focused time. So what I find with myself is when I don't effectively use my time, then it wakes me up in the middle of the night. I can't sleep. Like, oh my gosh, like yesterday I woke up in the middle of the night 2 nights ago, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to get the boxes that we had left over from Charlotte. I got to get those shipped to Nashville. Where am I going to send those? And so that's what woke me up in the middle of the night, because that has our banners. And I was like, so if I don't write things down, And so I do have lists, write things
Yes.
down, like what do I have to accomplish? If I just write it down, that kind of gives me a sense of calm, like, okay, I can see what I need to accomplish, and then I can, focus on those things versus,
Absolutely.
having these things randomly pop into my head, like, oh yeah, I can't forget to do that. And I
Right.
use my phone a lot to text myself to-do lists.
Yeah. So we are going to talk about lists and task management and
Good.
how to maximize those lists, how to prioritize your lists, because when everything is swirling around in your head, it's really overwhelming. When you can get it down on paper and prioritize it, list the next step on those tasks or those projects, it really helps to focus you instead of feeling, so scattered. So we are going to definitely talk about that. But you're right that not every one tip that I'm going to talk about is going to work for everybody. And actually, at the beginning of the presentation, I do say, what are you trying to get from this presentation? I want you to keep that in your head, because as we move through the presentation, I want you to zone in on those tips that you think are going to work for you and implement those. So if it's 2 or 3 out of the presentation, that's great. It doesn't have to be all 10. Now, I am offering some worksheets that go along with the presentation. And I'm going to give people a link and they'll be able to download those after the presentation. So hopefully that'll help people, take what they're getting from the presentation and then move it to a phase where they can implement it.
So, and actually, I'm glad you brought that up. So I just pulled up the Huba app on my phone. So she's a speaker. If you go to Friday afternoon, are there breakout sessions?
Yay.
And you are, I think I want to say you're the third. Yes, she's in the third.
3 o'clock, 3:05?
3:05 to 3:50.
Yep.
So it's 45 minutes, and she'll be in presidential A and B. The suites are B. And so in here, you can add her to your agenda, but more than that, Jenny, you can actually upload your documents right to the Huba app.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah, as a speaker. So you can actually upload things that people can download. You can engage with all the speakers. So this app that's super interactive, and really excited about it. So you'll be able to, pick her breakout session. If it's full by the time you get in there, the handouts and so forth will still be available. And then of course we're going to film the segment. So she's in breakout session 3. So, and from 3:05 to 3:50. And
come visit me.
Yes, it's going to be awesome. So
thank you.
Such a necessary topic for business, because a lot of us focus on the creative and like this will kind of take care of itself. And when your business gets out of control, you're not effective with your time management. I think is probably one of the biggest challenges, because things will, fires will pop up.
Yep.
And then being able to identify, do I have to handle this right now, or can it wait?
Yes.
And
prioritizing. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then even setting the goals. And one of the things I learned from Barb years ago is, when you set a goal and you don't do it because you procrastinate, that's a killer of business productivity. Procrastination. What did that cost you? Mm-hmm. What did not doing that, achieving that task or that goal, what did that do to your business? What did it cost you? Why didn't you accomplish it? And being really honest with yourself. And it's not like you're reporting it online, but basically with yourself saying, why didn't I do these things, and getting to the heart of the matter. So
yes, I think so. And I think if there are people out there that want to grow their business, being organized and being productive is a great way to start. I know it has helped me with my business over the past few years. So I'm happy to share this information.
Well, we're looking forward to having you there. You were one of the first ones. She was one of the first ones to submit her topic. I think you and June. The organized people. Well, we're looking forward to it. And so we'll see you in just a few weeks. Thanks for being on. Thanks, Jenny. You're welcome. You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Sandra, back to the show. All right. There you are. Hey.
This little app, this Be Live thing is pretty cool. It's like 3, 2, 1, action.
Yeah, exactly. It does a countdown. So you're not like,
So I'm excited, to hear her speak at the conference, because even though I think I'm organized, like I woke myself up 2 times in the middle of the night also last night, and I emailed myself. Like it bolted me out of my sleep. I promised somebody that I was going to get them their quote and their consultation for a client that's one of my biggest clients that I've had for years. And we just got so overly productive yesterday that I forgot to do it. So I got to write everything down too. Does that mean that we're getting better with age, or we just write more notes?
I don't know. I don't know what's really really a factor of age. I think it's that's some of that is like I don't remember things unless I send like texting myself helps. Like I got to remember this.
Yeah.
But I also think that it's because probably in the beginning your business, was smaller. You didn't have as much to do, and now there's a lot more things that you are handling. So when something like that gets forgotten, it's not because you're old. You're an old brain. It's because it was like you got distracted. Other things took priority, and then because I've had that too. Like, oh gosh, I thought I had to get a proposal out. So I'm cranking that thing out at midnight or 1 a.m. just to get it done.
Right.
But yeah, so I don't think it's much old brain as it is just big business
Yeah.
and needing help.
So I chose today because to be on the call because it's a special day, 18 years ago today,
Right.
as I'm sure that people have all been, it's 9/11. And can you believe it's been that many years already?
No, and I remember, and thank you for bringing that up. I remember when that happened. I know exactly where I was in my house with the kids were little. I think Lauren was 7, so the kids were 2 to 7 years old,
Yeah.
and just experiencing that. And so we do want to say that always remember, never forget, and then God bless the people that passed away and the families. It's been 18 years, so the longer it goes, people do sort of think it's more in the past, but
Right.
and that was where were you?
I was at the time I was working with AT&T Wireless Services, and we were all in the offices. We were having a meeting, and somebody had called me, and I said, "What?" And then I ran to our vice president's office at the time, and she had a TV in her office. I'm like, turn on the news. Something's going on." So, but yeah, I don't think anybody will ever forget, where they were for 9/11 for sure. So, I hope that everybody does take the time out to acknowledge all the heroes and remember all those that were forgotten. But at the same time, once that's done, I also feel like Worldwide Staging Service Week, which kind of starts tomorrow too, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So we have chapters all across the country that are launching their projects and giving back to the communities. And I know all the chapters have some really great things that they've submitted, and they've been working hard at fundraising and getting the monies that they're needed to make a difference in someone else's lives. So I always, 9/11, and then right after that's our Worldwide Staging Service Week, where we give back. So it's exciting.
Right. And there's some really great projects. I mean, I know Milan, they posted a group picture, what they're doing. There are people that are involved today. Other groups that, overseas are doing things, people in the US and so forth. So it's a service project. It's called Worldwide Staging Service Week. And it goes from September 12th to the 19th traditionally. And there are some chapters or people that will run their projects later just because of logistics.
Yeah.
But it started in 2000, I want to say 2005 is when the first official launch of Worldwide Staging Service Week happened. And since then, it's been, millions of dollars of time, contribution, that our members have given back to their communities. And it's really wonderful that it always makes me kind of cry when I see the videos of people and like the big reveal, just how appreciative some of these people are to have, a house redone, or it could be a community center, a VA hospital or VA center. We did through the years, we've done like a senior center. We did a homeless shelter in Denver. That was the Salvation Army homeless shelter. That was probably the biggest project we've done.
Yeah.
Did a lot of painting and then refurbishing, and it could be individuals, military people, just anybody who's deserving. So
it's really great. And I remember one year, actually, right after, not too long after, we had done 2 fire stations and made a fire stations in remembrance of 9/11 and for our Worldwide Staging Service Week. And I think I bit off more than we could chew. And it took us a long, long time. And we had a lot of events, and we raised a lot of money.
Was that the
great because look, we're in fire stations all day long, right? But to see how they're actually, do that, and you're in there working and painting and, redoing all of their spaces, from their shower heads to how they sleep, the whole thing. And then those sirens go off, you just sit there and you stop. You're like, oh, what's happening now? And they get called out for everything. But we've done everything. Ronald McDonald houses.
Yep.
We have done women's shelters, kids shelters, animal shelters. We have done a plethora. And this year we're doing a woman who is now paralyzed and in a wheelchair, who was actually shot and ran over by somebody, and in her house she cannot get around because it's not compliant, right? And for her to be able to get the spaces to get to her house. So we are redoing her house, and we've had a couple of we had sipping wine one night. We had like 60 people show up, and we painted what we painted with the purpose, and we had some silent auction things and stuff. So it was really great. So I'm hoping, wishing everybody good luck on your projects this week, and I just want to let you know I was all thinking about you doing that. And also, before we go on, Jenny, because I want to go back, Mike is so great in coasters. Thanks for bringing me in while he was talking, because I did want to say hi. But I want to go back to the beginning of the show when you were talking about the conference and how people say they don't have the time to go. I say, you don't have the time not to go. And it doesn't matter what business you're in, any business, whether you're a doctor, a lawyer, a home stager, a business, whatever it is, every single one of those people go for continuing education.
Right.
And that is how they grow and learn to be better, not only for themselves, but for their companies or their employees. And, it's a time that they can come with all new goals and ideas and resources. And, it gives you new passion. It's like you get so excited when you leave there. I've been doing this for 15 years. You've been doing it forever too. And, we work, we're pretty productive, right? And so you get worn out and you get tired, and you're like, we're always looking for ways to do things better. And even though you have answers, I have answers, I always say, who gives us answers? That's why I'm really excited about all the top masterminds really being together in the advanced stager class for 2 days is unparalleled. Even though we did it for the 1 day last year, I would say that those notes and everything that I took, when you've got the people who are either teaching, training, coaching, running large businesses, and we're brainstorming together, oh my gosh, that is incredible. And of course, the speakers for the main conference is so good. You just get out of there like just so excited, and can't we get to go back to work and implement. Even if you implement one thing that's going to make a change in your business, why wouldn't you go? And I know that the seats are almost sold out. So you can't wait, to get going. I know there's only a few seats left. So make sure that people, do go on and register for the main. And then if you really are looking to take your business to the next level, you've got to be part of the advanced stager course.
Right.
And I saw somebody just on one of the Facebook groups the other day saying, they didn't know which class or course to take to get them to the next level. And there's a lot of great courses out there, whether it's our master's course or it's some of the other training courses out there that are advanced, like Jana's, things like that with HSRA. I want to say you need to get to the advanced stager training in Nashville. And by the way, who doesn't want to go boot, scoot, and boogieing, right?
Right, exactly. With your friends.
Who doesn't? The weather's going to be beautiful. The Opryland Resort is amazing. It's almost
beautiful.
like it's like a destination of like the wonders of the world almost. And just being around, I can't wait to see everybody coming from, Europe and from all across the country. It's just, I'm getting so excited. And it's only, think about it, a few weeks away.
I know. That's like it's like you plan and plan and plan, and so there's so much we're cramming into that the 3 days that we're together, and then the 2 more of the advanced stager training. And you're right, people that are, because I've heard this all along. I went to the first conference in 2003, so here it is 2019, 16 years later. I've never missed one, and I've had kids that were little. So when I got started, the kids were 3 to 8 years old. So I still went. It was 5 days back then. It was like a whole week. It wasn't over a weekend.
Yeah.
And I've had to travel, leave my family, leave my business. And it always seems like when you leave your business, everything breaks loose, like you're, big in demand. However, you need to be in control of your business, and you have to rejuvenate your spirit. People who say like, well, I don't need to learn anything. I want to meet you then because you know everything about staging, and I don't. So I want to meet you then because you know it all, and you don't feel you need any more education. And I'm like always looking to absorb. And furthermore, the industry is advancing, and not only how houses are staged, expectations of our clients and the public, but also the standards and so forth. And so you want to be on the cutting edge. You don't want to be catching up or be left behind. And that's what happens when you don't invest in your education. And, as I shared, it's 4 or 5 days out of 365. So And I don't mean to be like real judgy. I understand people have circumstances they can't get there. But when people say, oh, I got to work on my business or I'm too busy, you know what? I run 3 companies. I do the association, the training company, my staging business. I got 4 kids. I put, you're not too busy to go. I go, and this is before I was ever running the show. I always went and took the time because I need that for myself. Yeah.
Yeah. I have books from every single year with thousands of notes in them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, I like going back through them and say, did I accomplish this? Did I, it's like this checklist, that you get to go through and do. And you know how we always educate stagers and say, well, when people say they can't afford our services as a stager, we always say, well, we take, staging financing, right? Use a credit card, right? Because the things I feel like you learn, when you get back and you get to implement those things at the conference, will pay for itself tenfold. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. I'm getting really, really excited. Definitely.
Yeah. I got to figure out the clothing. People are asking, what are we wearing for like the awards dinner? So that's Friday night on the showboat to General Jackson. People are asking, how are we going to get there? So you're not going to have to swim or hitchhike. There will be shuttles that will take people from the hotel, and it's very close by. It's like a few minute drive, but we're not going to walk in high heels. So you can either be as denim and diamonds, so you can glam it up, which is what I plan to do, or you can be in your denim. My only caveat is please don't wear like cut-off jeans or wholly, ripped jeans, because it is an awards dinner. So please dress up, even when you're wearing denim, please. And but we're going to see everything there. And I've got to start walking around in my boots that I got like 9 months ago because I don't want blisters.
So I haven't even come up with the outfit yet. I am going to be probably cursing myself out like the 2 days before I throw everything in the suitcase. But I mean, I did get some boots and I did get a cowboy hat. But I haven't done the bling portion yet for the diamonds and denims. And I just said to Lynn the other day, I go, maybe we should get one of those little bedazzlers and get some jeans and we'll bedazzle everything on her whole body. I don't even know if they make those anymore.
They do.
Where did you get that?
I ordered this online. So I've had it. So these are all the little beads. I have more beads, but this is the bedazzler. I'll bring this with me.
What do you bedazzle?
I think at the time I think I was going to either do like a jacket or something. I don't know. I just one of those things where I saw it on Facebook. I'm like, I need the bedazzler. So I have this. I'm going to bring this. And I have more bunch more beads, but you never know. So I do have it.
Oh, please order some more beads and bring it. And then when we get there early and while we're getting ready for conference, we'll just bedazzle everything on.
Yeah, exactly. It'll just be like the bling. It's gonna be fun. You have to have fun, and Nashville is such a great destination. So there's people are coming in a couple days early. Those of you who want to help with setup, that's going to be all day Thursday. Right. Now there are some meetups. I just want to on Huva. People are setting up meetups, and I did share to people who are currently on there, please don't schedule meetups during the conference. So people were setting up, hey, let's get together Friday at 9 and have coffee. I'm like, you guys, the conference starts at 9. Actually opens up at 8 for the expo. So I know like on Thursday afternoon, I think around 2, is one gathering for Europeans, and then at 12 or 12:30, all your chapter leaders, everybody who's a chapter leader, and also our international board, we're going to get together around 12:30 on Thursday, just for a quick hour or so meet and greet, get together, get a picture of all of us, because we forgot to do that last year. And then prior to that, there's some other sessions. So just make sure you're not scheduling things that overlap with conference activities. And that Huva app is wonderful, but it's like out of control. I mean, there's a leaderboard, and people have racked up like 90,000 points. I think Hayden Yates is now in the lead. Kevin was for quite a while.
I don't know how you get. I mean, there's a lot of messages on there. I haven't had time to really go into them, but it is a great app, and even for sending updates out throughout the day when we're at conference, really, really helps. So that's good. Yeah,
we'll be able to communicate with everybody, and even post conference, be able to send people information. So I'm really pleased with it. So. I can't wait to see you in 3 weeks. I can't believe it's 3 weeks away. I'm a little panicked because there's still a lot to be done.
Yeah, I know. Let us know let me know if you need any help with anything. But I'm looking forward to speaking there. I think the topic was like working 9 to 5, or this Dolly Parton song for me. And I'm like, okay, that's great. But I know I'm not working 9 to 5, and maybe on the 5 to 9 that goes with it. In a day, but it is perfect. And I'm going to be talking and helping with the investor designation, right? The investor staging consultant designation.
Yes.
And so, I'm going to talk a little bit about the marketing and, how do we market to them, or how do we network with them, and some of the pricing strategies, because they're all different, because you've got, some people who are doing the basic flips on the low end and the mid range and the high end. And it could mean a lot of different things, right? Because there's all different kinds of investors that, it could be a builder, a spec home builder. They're investors, they're big time investors. And I'll probably be talking a little bit more on that, because I do specialize a lot with the home builders. And then also, what are some of the investor, what's their hot buttons? How can we really be an asset to them and be part of their team? And what are a lot of their pain points? And I see a lot of their pain points, and I even see it when we go back into some of the properties when, we see them sometimes during construction, and then we go back when they're really done. And I would say, who put that, a thermostat in the middle of the wall? Or,
Right, exactly. What is that about?
move this, or
Why do they put that thermostat right where a piece of art should go?
yeah, or
Drives me nuts.
why do you have your light fixture in the dining room 5 feet over to the left, and it needs to be moved? So just those kind of things that
It's like,
I always say, have us be a part of your final walkthrough before you do that, or to get, don't say you're ready for staging, because they're not really ready. Because when I go in there, I'm like, you got to move this, got to do that. But so I'll be talking some of their pain points and their hot buttons, and how to network
her
with
session
them,
will be good.
what
So
they're
we
really
have
looking
a
for, when they're working with the home stager. I think you froze.
Sandra, there you are. So you froze for a second there.
You froze.
Oh, I froze. We were both like,
froze.
oh, well, anyway, hopefully it wasn't like
No,
froze.
I saw it on the lawn, and it was like that for me.
Which means I'm frozen on her end. All right. So yeah, Joanne, we can have a bedazzler party. I have all the supplies. I have more bedazzlers somewhere, because I know I bought them in the past. But so those of you that need some bling, you come find us, and we're gonna have I know I have more than this. I bought like a whole container. These are teeny. I got bigger ones. But anyhow, we're gonna have fun. You have to bling it out for Nashville. So thank you for being on, Sandra, and we're gonna go ahead and wrap up. We'll see you next week. I have Catherine Lewis Brown for next week, and also join us next week for another great segment. This, of course, is recorded, and we're going to upload it to our YouTube channel and also to our website, homestagingtalk.com. So as you will ask, how can I see the other segments? So it'll be episode 66 next week. So that's another 66 hours of education that you can gain because of what we're doing for the show for our members. So, all right. Well, thanks for being on, and God bless everybody. Appreciation for the first responders, and remember those people who were lost, because I know their families are never going to forget the impact, and I don't think any of us really will forget it either. So with that, I'll say goodbye, and thank you, Sandra. Bye, everybody.
All right, have a good day.
See you in Nashville. See you in Nashville, everyone.
See you there. Bye.